Well, Monday afternoon, let's be honest. But welcome back to my channel if you're new here. My name's Avery. I'm a 22-year-old. Just to give a little background if you don't know me, I'm getting married in like 2 months, so I still live at home with my parents. I've actually lived at home with my parents forever, so only have 2 more months at home. But it's a rainy day because, as you know, the hurricanes. We live in Florida, and thankfully that the hurricane's not coming towards us, but we're getting like the side effects from it, like just the rain, the gloomy weather. So I just ran to the store and picked up some stuff to make the pumpkin syrup like Starbucks is. My favorite drink at Starbucks is the pumpkin cream cold brew, like probably a lot of people. I did just drink a coffee, but then I saw this on TikTok. It's just maple syrup, water, pumpkin puree, and pumpkin pie spice and vanilla, but I don't think I have vanilla, but that's okay. So it's just a cozy day. Haven't done much today. I ran some errands, returned packages, worked out this morning, but now I'm gonna make this little syrup. My sister's about to be home. Oh, another interesting fact is my whole family lives in this house. My brother and sister are older than me and they both live at home still. My sister actually just moved back a couple months ago, but so it's a party in the Beverly household. But yeah, let's make the syrup. Recipes, I usually like to just wing it, but I don't know if that's a good thing in this one. Maybe a little more. Okay, hers was super thick. I think I put too much water. I think I did it right. We don't have any jar to put it in, so that's not good. Oh, we don't have very much ice left.
I'm okay if I don't have ice in mine.
It's not gonna be the same without a lot. I'll do that much to start. No, it's falling. Is it bad? It doesn't taste like diddly squat. It doesn't taste like pumpkin at all.
I guess you have to add a lot more.
I taste a hint of it.
No.
In my mouth, is that annoying? I put a question box on my Instagram for some questions for this today because I was feeling like it. I answer questions on my Instagram a lot, but I'm trying to focus some more time on YouTube because making YouTube videos is actually really fun and probably what I wanted to do originally. I'm very grateful for TikTok though. Let me tell you, TikTok is so fun, but I feel like YouTube gives like a different perspective of people's lives and the whole like way of making the videos just different. But my phone's about to die. But I asked some questions. Oh, my camera's about to die. Good thing I charged this back. I put the question box up only like an hour ago, so I might answer some more later, but I just feel like doing it right now. So funny question. Okay, let me scroll down. Chips, life, the wedding, like those questions, really anything. So the first question I got is how to be patient waiting for a proposal when you've been together for 6.5 years. Me and Aiden, my fiance, we started dating when I was 14, he was 15. We're 22 and 23 now. He just turned 23. That's a good question because I don't really know if I had to be patient because for like the years after high school, I knew we weren't going to be getting engaged anytime soon. And I still think we're young. So I really feel like the only time I was even really thinking about it being a possibility was after he graduated in May and then we got engaged in July. So that was really like the only time I had to be patient. But I think I don't know, because if you guys could be getting engaged right now, like why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? All the other times in our life, there was like a reason we weren't engaged yet, if that makes sense. He was in school, baseball, all that kind of stuff. So there was no reason to get engaged because he was still in school. Does that make sense? So I think I would just ask my boyfriend, like, what are you waiting on? Is there a reason? Unless you guys have already talked about it and you're like, okay, we need to wait. I think it is what it is, and I know it stinks, but just focus on dating and how fun that is, and like making that time special, because that time is at the end of the day special. And you don't want to, like right now I'm trying not to wish away us being engaged, because I am excited for us to get married, but this is also like a special time in our life, being engaged. So you don't want to wish away your dating time. I know it's been a long time, but it's still like a season of your life. And if it's just because your boyfriend doesn't want to make the move, then I don't know, that's something to talk about. I feel like me and Aiden had to sit down and be like, okay, what's our next step? Like, are you gonna leave and I'm gonna stay here or whatnot? And obviously the way it went was us getting engaged and then him leaving and then we're getting married and then I'm moving there. Anyway, bunch of how to maintain a long-term relationship. This is sort of like in the same vicinity as the other one. This question's kind of hard because it's weird, because I was so young, but I never really talked to boys before I met Aiden. And then it was sort of just like, that sounds so cheesy, but it was just like we were together and then there was no reason not to be together. And then now we're still together and I don't see us ever not being together. I think it is hard sometimes, especially if you're younger. Like, there were some moments where I was like, is this even worth it? Because not is it even worth it, but there was just like, we would argue a little bit and like the communication was not the greatest. But I think just like there's plenty of times I have to go to Aiden and be like, you're not understanding where I'm coming from. Like, it seems like you don't care because you're not telling me X, Y, and Z, or like communicating this. And just really being upfront, being like, this bothers me, this doesn't bother me, and you better tell me everything and I'll tell you everything. And I really think just having, I guess that goes back to like having trust in the other person. But I do think that's a big one. And then also just having the same morals and views when you start dating. I think it is really hard to start dating somebody that has like a different way of living or a different way of thinking or a different religion. I think that is really hard, and your morals do need to align, because at the end of the day, if you're raising a family together, or you're gonna be together, it'd be kind of hard. It'd just be sort of tricky to navigate that whole situation. Obviously, like, people's opinions and that kind of thing changes, but just for instance, like drinking, this is like a small one, but if I was a partier and Aiden, we're both not like partiers or drinkers or whatever, we just choose not to do that. But if Aiden or I was a partier, that just would not mesh very well. I mean like a partier, not just like, you know what I mean. Good communication, just the basics, the morals aligned, and just making sure to make them still feel special even all the years that have gone over. And no, I've not had a boyfriend before Aiden. Aiden is my one and only boyfriend and my last boyfriend, because now he's my fiance. A lot of questions about like how long we want to wait to have kids, if we want kids, and we do want kids 110%. Like, my whole life goal is to be a mom. That's what I would tell people all the time. I just want to be a mom when I grow up. And that's still the case. I still want to be a mom so bad, but I do think we'll probably at least a year, maybe 2, I don't know. If it happened before then, I wouldn't be sad, that's for sure. Me and Aiden both graduated from college. He graduated with a degree in interdisciplinary studies, and then I graduated with marketing. I graduated a year before him, but we're the same age. I just graduated in 3 years and he graduated in 4. As you know, we're in a long distance. I'm just gonna get all the relationship questions out of the way because there's a lot of them. And me and Aiden are in a long distance relationship, and we were last year, and even before that he was at least like an hour away. The last time we've lived like relatively close to each other was high school. So the biggest piece of long distance advice would probably be to not text each other all the time, which I know is hard, especially when you're younger. I feel like you're texting 24/7, but my favorite part of the day is just talking to him at the end of the night, like on FaceTime or on the phone. Also, like giving each other a call, like if you're just driving, if one person's busier than the other, because Aiden was always busier than me, like had a more strict schedule than I did. So he would call me like on his way to class or on his way to practice or that kind of thing. Communicating is a big one when you're in a long distance relationship, just trusting the other person, which I never went into it as like, oh my gosh, I'm worried about what Aiden's doing, because I trust him enough and I know he's not doing anything. Let's go in our engagement, because it is very short. I got a question like, if things were different, would you have a longer engagement? Advice for being engaged and yada yada yada. I don't know if we'd have a longer engagement. I don't know, because maybe if he wasn't coaching at Liberty, maybe we would have a longer engagement. Not for just the fact it being at Liberty, because there's like the thing, ring by spring, but which is kind of funny because we kind of fall into that category. But if you've ever heard, Liberty, the school he coaches at, is a Christian school, which the school is great, but there's like that thing, ring by spring, and we just so happen to fall in that category a little bit. But he didn't end up coaching. I don't know, maybe we would be engaged longer. I really don't know. I think it's just playing out perfectly. But I would say maybe. I do think 4 months is kind of quick, but it just worked out in our favor. What advice would you give someone who is engaged? I would say just enjoy the process. I don't know, it is going to be stressful, like planning the wedding and stuff, but it's so fun just being engaged. I don't know, just enjoy it as much as you can. Like I said, I'm still having a hard time with this, like just enjoying being engaged and just wanting to get married, which is my fault. But I am just so excited for the wedding, which I feel like is valid. I talked about drinking earlier. Funny, I got a question on how to feel confident in the decision to not drink when people are like being pushy or making you feel guilty, which I've never really experienced people making me feel guilty for not drinking, because if they are, then they're probably not your real friends, if I'm being honest, which is kind of sad. And I know like in high school it was definitely hard, because like my friends were going and doing all that stuff and I just didn't want to. But it was definitely harder when I was younger. So if you're younger, I understand, because you do sometimes get left out of things, which is definitely a bummer. But I look back 4 years ago, and at that time was I bummed, like I wasn't getting invited to things and I felt like I didn't fit in a little bit. But now I'm so grateful for my decision, because I don't think that would make me happier, and your true friends like will be friends with you even if you don't drink. Even if they do drink, like you guys can do other activities than drinking. But it is hard. I mean, I can't say it's like, oh, I'm completely fine that I'm the only one of my friends that doesn't drink, because I do feel like I get left out of things. But Aiden's right there with me and he doesn't either, and I think like that's just healthy for us and like our future family, not having that in the situation. I just have so many reasons why I don't drink. I mean, one being I don't want to, but there's other reasons that I don't drink. And I think at the end of the day, you'll be happier with yourself. If you feel uncomfortable drinking, like you just don't want to do it, you'd feel better about not doing it than just doing it because your friends tell you to. Honestly, I had to get good at just being happy with myself and not worrying about being invited to everything, because that's just how it is. And people are experimenting and all that kind of stuff. But once you get older, I promise you, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But I think I'm going to be done answering questions for a while. I've been talking for like a long time. To answer some questions so you guys could get to know me a little bit better. This big life change. So many different things are changing, which is crazy and fun and exciting. Life is kind of crazy right now, but it's really fun. And I don't know, I love sharing it with you guys. So you guys ever have any questions, I try and answer my messages all the time, like on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram gets a little funky because they like are hidden, but I try and do my best because I'm truly very grateful that I get to do this. I think it's so fun, and everyone's been so sweet about everything, honestly, all the new life updates. But I'll bring you guys through the rest of my night tonight. I think I'm gonna make like a soup or something. Like I said, it's stormy and gross. So I think I'm gonna make like a soup or something, just hang out. So we'll spend the rest of the night together. Well, that's just great. That is my crown of my tooth that just came out. This happened. I was eating dang candy. What just happened? What is that? Wait, what? My crown. It happened not that long ago. Wait, it's the whole tooth? Crown, yeah. My tooth came out. It's happened before, but this is so annoying, and I called the dentist and they closed at 4, but it's okay. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like it's actually my tooth, it's just the crown. I need to clarify. But I'm getting an early start to dinner because honestly, sometimes if I wait too long, I get lazy and then I don't want to make dinner, if we're being honest. But I'm gonna make a soup. We only had frozen chicken, so always just boil the chicken if it's frozen and then shred it. It's the easiest way to cook frozen chicken if you forget to thaw out your meat, which we do all the time. Change of plans, it's the next day now, and last night, let me close this. Last night was just, I remembered my fiance's little sister had a basketball game. Not basketball, volleyball game. So I hurried up, finished the dinner, and then left and met my fiance's mom to go to the game. So it's the next day now. It's sunny weirdly because the hurricane is supposed to be coming tomorrow. So I don't really know. But I woke up this morning and went on a walk. It was so nice, and then I did not really feel like getting ready, so I have wet hair and I'm gonna go meet my sister at the coffee shop for a little bit, and then I need to go to the grocery store because my mom wants me to like get some waters and ice and stuff just in case our power does go out. So fun things. Thankfully, like I said, I don't know if I said this earlier, I don't think it's gonna hit us directly, which I'm very grateful for, but I'm so sad for all the other people because I know so many people had to leave and that's really scary. But I'm gonna go meet my sister at the coffee shop. I'll see you guys later. Picked up some necessities for the storm. Just found out we are in an evacuation zone now, so that's never fun. We aren't gonna evacuate. Still thinking it's not gonna be bad, but it's still scary.
I found a big portable charging thing at Oska's in your room. Oh, I bet.
The city, away from the crowd. Oh gosh.